Guys, thanks for watching. Please subscribe to the channel. This video is about finding freedom from thoughts and emotions, which is mental health. A lot of this channel has been mental health. I'm going to be adding more fitness, physical health related content, but finding freedom from thoughts and emotions. What would you be able to do in your life if you had more freedom, more expansion, mentally, emotionally? Going after goals, improving your habits, your finances, your relationships. This all is impacted by how we understand ourselves, how we relate to our emotional experience, our thoughts. It's so impactful, and I know mental health is just in a rough place right now for many people, many of you, and it was that case for me as well. And I've made improvements. I want to share that on this channel, and especially through this video. So I'm going to be getting to two distinct practices or methods that helped me tremendously. So stay tuned for that. First thing, with mental health or the decline of mental health, I've noticed there is a sort of a gluing together or a attachment between there's three distinct parts of ourselves: our physical body, our mental mind, and this ability of ourselves to observe, okay? Place our attention on different aspects of ourselves, on thoughts, emotions, feelings. Three distinct aspects. When there is a gluing together or a lack of awareness of thoughts I'm having, feelings I'm having, there tends to be an inability to rise above or to transcend emotions and thoughts, right? Without that awareness. And so what I've found is that for just on my basic understanding of emotions is that children have it right. Children come out of the womb having big emotions and letting them out. Is it uncomfortable? Can it be stressful as a parent to parent and be with? Absolutely. But it is highly, it is a survival skill, ability, because it comes out, you come out of the womb with it, okay? So it's very necessary, and we usually learn how not to have emotions. It's sort of our human experience, right? And so much of mental health is unlearning the resistance to emotions and relearning that whole experience of how to process emotions. And that's what we're talking about here. We're learning to feel more, okay? So there's this concept of like, there are mental breaks that we have as adults on our emotions. And this is learned from childhood on up. There can be a sort of forced positivity. There was for myself, a forced positivity and a denying of these lower emotions that I didn't want to have or that were bad or whatever, okay? And this is how chronic anxiety, depression, OCD, my experience, right? Irrational, intrusive thoughts, many of y'all may have as well, which can really create a lot of suffering. This is how it develops, okay? And it's an unlearning for myself. I eliminated most all OCD and a lot of anxiety just from unlearning all these habits of how I respond to emotions. I was not even aware of emotions because they were so repressed automatically that this was such a foreign concept to me. I was so emotionally unaware and inept. But this has been the process of learning to even have emotions again, ones that you're not even feeling, and then learning how to process them, release them, and live with them. So that's number one. And the one tool that helped me a lot is this tools method called tapping. You might have seen it as emotional freedom technique, EFT. Tapping for me helped me understand the relationship or just the fluidity of thoughts and emotions as they come and they go. They're not this absolute huge thing that you can't understand, you can't process, you can't be with, right? They're they move and they flow. They come up and they go out. That's how emotions are. There's energy in motion. So tapping combines cognitive behavior therapy, CBT, with Chinese acupressure points in your body. So you would tap on certain parts in your body, and you can look these up at great places. Tapping Solution. There's an app. They're also on YouTube. There's a website, Tapping Solution. And also just YouTubing Brad Yates on YouTube is a fellow with a ton of videos, great videos that I learned a lot from. Tapping on certain points, you're going to do a setup phrase. You're going to say whatever it is you're feeling, whatever it is you think about your thoughts. I feel like I hate myself, whatever it is. I feel shame because of blah, blah, blah. I feel fear because of this. You just talk it out as you tap. And that's going to bring up the emotion, the tapping, and the tapping is the acupressure that helps move the emotion out. Now, a lot of people would say some people say, hey, it releases the emotion for good. Other people say it moves the emotion around. I found that tapping is more of a temporary suppression, so to speak. You're tapping away, you're moving the pain away from you. And it works. It lowers the intensity. It can be a lifesaver, but it also helps you understand emotions and thoughts and get more control of them, get a little more ability here. Now, so that's great, right? We can lower the intensity of emotions. We have a tool we can do that with. But number two, and this is the one where I think if we develop skill in this area, it's going to benefit you tremendously. And that is learning how to release emotions and how to be with emotions and how to go right through them. And we do that. You can do this as a standalone meditation or as you go about your day and things get triggered and things come up. But it's learning to disconnect from the stories in your mind. Emotions are so debilitating, not just because the feelings in our body, but because the mental story and significance attachment we have in our mind. So when you can learn to let go of that and go back in your body and notice where you're having the emotions, be with those sensations, let them be there. Let yourself feel sad. Let yourself feel guilty. Let yourself feel fear. Let it be there and be with those feelings. You're not in your mind. This is a huge aspect that took me a long time to really master, and that is, and master is a strong word. I wouldn't say I mastered it, but just to get some headway and progress in it. And that is just the understanding that your mind is not you. Your thoughts are not they're not real. They're coming up in so many different places. And when you get that and you learn to let them go, you're now accessing the emotion. Remember, it's our resistance and attachment to our thoughts and the stories we have that are keeping these emotions from coming up and out. Children don't have that really as much, and so they don't have the mental attachment, so these emotions just come up and out. It's just natural. So it's an unlearning, it's a letting go of these stories and attachments, and then being with the sensations in your body that really gives those emotions like a safe space and feeling for them to actually be processed and to keep generating. Emotions will not just keep going and going and going forever. It feels that way when you're having them, but the more you stay with them, there's a lightening. And that, to me, that's the release aspect. When you feel a strong emotion in your body and there's your body feels lighter afterwards, a gradual lessening, and you feel light. That's a release. And so this is what you want to work towards. And in doing so, you're going to be able to, your trigger is going to be a lot less, and you're going to be able to handle and process more energy and capacity in your day, right? So at any time during this release meditation, you can also go to tapping to just bring it down if it's too much. If you bring up, so what I'll do, and I learned this from a guy named Glanvill. He's got a Patreon site, which I owe so much gratitude to for just helping me understand a lot of these concepts and get out of some of the stuckness that I was in, is that you actually just sit down. You can do this in the beginning of the morning or at night. Sit down and just have a dedicated time, 10, 15, 20, 30 minutes of just running a fearful story through your mind. Intentionally thinking something that's going to trigger an emotional response, okay? And then once it comes up, you let go and you go and you just feel this emotion and let it come out. And when you do this, you are not running from your pain. You're going right into the emotion. You're going right into it and you're just being with it. And that's what allows it to actually come out and leave your body. And you gain so much clarity and a raising in, let's say, consciousness from this. So big picture, we're learning to take the mental breaks off of our emotional experience. That is mental health right there. That's what I've learned. You're learning how to let go of thoughts, and thereby you're letting go of emotions, learning to have them. You're learning to see yourself in a different way. You're learning to be okay with yourself having certain emotions and looking a certain way towards other people, and not maybe be always being a cheery, smiley, nice guy, emotional suppressor, So there's a lot of emotions to work through. And the ultimate goal for myself is freedom and expansion of this human experience I'm having and what that would look like in all the different areas of my life, because I see this impacting so many areas. I hope this helps many of you, and thank you for watching, and please subscribe.